Hi, this is Jade Edmondson, and this is Module 7. I'll start off by giving you a brief description of Bowman and Deal's human resource frame of leadership. Um, Basically, in that framework, they look at a organization as a family type structure, and that's going off the idea that people are the most important resources in a school organization. Um, and so, therefore, their number one goal is to align organizational and human needs. And one way that they do that is by looking at the individuals working at the school and their need to find meaningful work within the organization, and then pairing that with the organization's need to have talented staff. So it sort of shows how everything is working together off of one another with the human aspect. Another important point in their framework is that the leader in this human resource frame is a servant leader, and they're there to meet the needs of the organization, not the other way around. Another point that they made was that all adults in a school need to be treated with respect from students, parents, and other staff, which I 100% agree with. So, keeping that in mind, um, if you're looking at my hierarchy here that I have created, it's a little bit confusing and not necessarily a traditional hierarchy, but this is what made sense to me. As you can see, in the middle at the top is the principal. If I was the principal, um, directly below me, the three groups that I would place there are teachers, paraprofessionals, and aides, and the office staff. And then directly below that our students and parents. And the reason why I did that was because I believe that those three groups, teachers, aides, and office staff, are sort of your first responders. They're the ones who are there every day with the students and parents. And so, as a principal, even though students and parents are my highest priority as far as leadership goes, I feel like it is more important for me to direct my leadership at those middle groups, sort of the in between me and the students, because if I can effectively lead the teachers, paraprofessionals, and office staff, then they can turn around and effectively lead the students and parents in the school. As the principal, you obviously do not have the ability to um, interact one on one with your hundreds or thousands of students and parents every day, but those groups in the middle do. And so I feel like that's where my leadership would be focused on, is supporting them, being a servant leader for them, because I know that they are going to turn around and be a servant leader for the students and families. And I also wanted to point out that I do believe that students and parents are at the same level of leadership after the middle group, because I think that as teachers, we can have a great effect on students within the short amount of time that we have them. But I truly believe that if we can really emphasize their parents and their family, and if we can have an effect on their parents, and that can in turn have a positive change for their whole family, then that is going to have a much more lasting impact than if we can only reach the student and not their family. Um, Outside of that sort of more traditional hierarchy, you see that I have an inner circle of other sort of support staff within the school, custodians, cooks, and maintenance, who are very important but aren't necessarily in a strict hierarchy position for me. Um, and then outside of that, there's an even more distant circle of community and alumni, which again are there for support, are there for additional resources, but not within the inner circle, and sort of as a second layer of resources outside of that. So I hope that this was not too confusing for you to follow. Like I said, it made sense to me, and this is what I sort of came up with when I was thinking through leadership and a school environment, and particularly coming from an elementary school perspective. But I look forward to looking at your guys' hierarchies and seeing how they're either the same or different. Thanks.